Forgiveness discovered or revealed only to faith. Reasons thereof. For a close of this discourse, I shall only add what is included in that proposition which is the foundation of the whole, namely that this discovery of forgiveness is and can be made to faith alone. The nature of it is such as that nothing else can discover it or receive it. No reasonings, no inquiries of the heart of man can reach to it. That guess or glimpse which a heathen had of old of somewhat so-called, and which false worshippers have at present, is not the forgiveness we insist upon, but a mere imagination of their own hearts. This the Apostle informs us, Romans 1 verse 17, the righteousness of God is, in the gospel, revealed from faith to faith. Nothing but faith has anything to do with it. It is that righteousness of God whereof he speaks that consists in the forgiveness of sins by the blood of Christ declared in the gospel. And this is revealed from the faith of God and the promise to the faith of the believer, to him that mixes a promise with faith. And again more fully, 1 Corinthians 2 verse 9, Eye is not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God has prepared for them that love him. The ways whereby we may come to the knowledge of anything are by the seeing of the eye, or hearing of the ear, or the reasonings and meditations of the heart. And now none of these will reach to the matter in hand. By none of these ways can we come to an acquaintance with the things of the gospel that are prepared for us in Christ. How then shall we obtain a knowledge of them? That he declares in verse 10, God has revealed them unto us by his Spirit. Now, it is faith only that receives the revelations of the Spirit. Nothing else has to do with them. To give evidence hereunto, we may consider that this great mystery, number 1, is too deep, number 2 is too great for aught else to discover, and number 3, that nothing else but faith is suited to the making of the discovery. Number 1, it is too deep and mysterious to be fathomed and reached by anything else. Reason's line is too short to fathom the depth of the Father's love, of the blood of the Son, and the promises of the gospel built thereon, wherein forgiveness dwells. Men cannot by their rational considerations launch out into these deeps, nor draw water by them from these wells of salvation. Reason stands by and amazed and cries, how can these things be? It can but gather cockle shells like him of old at the shore of this ocean, a few criticisms upon the outward letter, and so bring an evil report upon the land as did the spies. All it can do is but to hinder faith from venturing into it, crying, spare thyself. This attempt is vain. These things are impossible. It is among the things that faith puts off and lays aside when it engages the soul into this great work. This, then, that it may come to a discovery of forgiveness, causes the soul to deny itself and all of its own reasonings, and to give up itself to an infinite fullness of goodness and truth. Though it cannot go to the bottom of these depths, yet it enters into them, and finds rest in them. Nothing but faith is suited to rest, to satiate and content itself in mysterious, bottomless, unsearchable depths. Being a soul emptying, a reason denying grace, the more it meets with all beyond its search and reach, the more satisfaction it finds. This is that which I look for, saith faith, even for that which is infinite and unsearchable, when I know that there is abundantly more beyond me that I do not comprehend, than what I've attained to. For I know that nothing else will do good to the soul. Now, this is that which really puzzles and overwhelms reason, rendering it useless. But it cannot compass, it will neglect or despise. It is either amazed and confounded and dazzled like weak eyes at too great a light, or fortifying of itself by inbred pride and obstinacy. It concludes that this preaching of the cross, of forgiveness from the love of God by the blood of Christ, is plain folly, a thing not for a wise man to take notice of or to trouble himself about. So it appeared to the wise Greeks of old in 1 Corinthians 1 verse 23. Hence, when the soul is brought under the power of a real conviction of sin, so as that it would desirously be freed from the galling entanglements of it, it is then the hardest thing in the world to persuade such a soul of this forgiveness. Anything appears more rational to it, any self-righteousness in this world, any purgatory hereafter. The greatest part of the world of convinced persons have forsaken forgiveness on this account. Masses, penances, merits have appeared more eligible, yea, men who have no other desire but to be forgiven do choose to close with anything rather than forgiveness. If men do escape these rocks and resolve that nothing but pardon will relieve them, yet it is impossible for them to receive it in the truth and power of it, if not enabled by faith thereunto. I speak not of men that take it up by hearsay, as a common report, but of those souls who find themselves really concerned to look after it, when they know it is their sole concern, all their hope and relief when they know that they must perish everlastingly without it, and when it is declared to them in the words of truth and soberness, yet they cannot receive it. What is the reason of it? What staves off these hungry creatures from their proper food? Why have they nothing to lead them into the mysterious depths of eternal love, of the blood of Christ and the promises of the gospel? How may we see poor deserted souls standing every day at the side of this pool, and yet not once venture themselves into it all their days? Number 2, it is too great for anything else to discover. Forgiveness is a thing chosen out of God from all eternity to exalt and magnify the glory of His grace, and it will be made to appear to all the world at the day of judgment to have been a great thing. When the soul comes in any measure to be made sensible of it, it finds it so great, so excellent, so astonishing, that it sinks under the thoughts of it. It has dimensions, a length, breadth, depth, and height, that no line of the rational soul can take or measure. There is exceeding greatness in it, Ephesians 1, verse 19. That is a great work which we have prescribed, Ephesians 3:19, even to know the love of Christ which passes knowledge. Here I suppose reason will confess itself at a stand and an issue to know that which passes knowledge is none of its work. It cannot be known, saith reason, and so ends the matter. But this is faith, proper work, even to know that which passes knowledge, to know that in its power, virtue, sweetness, and efficacy, which cannot be thoroughly known in its nature and excellency. To have by believing all the ends of a full comprehension of that which cannot be fully comprehended. Hence Hebrews 11:1 it is said to be things not seen, their subsistence though in themselves absent. Yet faith gives them a present subsistence in the soul, so it knoweth things that pass knowledge by mixing itself with them. It draws out and communicates their benefit to the soul, from all which is evident from when in the third place was proposed of faith being only suited to be the means of this discovery, so that I shall not need further to insist thereon.